Bat continued to beat ball to death on the penultimate day of the LV County Championship match between Somerset and Hampshire in Taunton. Somerset began the third morning in complete control on 569 for 5 in their first innings for a lead of 329. They wanted more and Luke Ronke was soon helping out. But in the day's first over, the Kiwi going for a third boundary was LBW to Fidel Edwards for a quick-fire 19. The home team made their intentions very clear first thing. They lost Lewis Gregory for a duck in the second over, while the fourth saw Craig Overton twice clear the rope off Gregory's wicket-taker Gareth Berg. These were both huge shots which brought up Somerset's 600. Jim Allenby, who began the day on 39, made it to a 50 before both Craig and Jamie Overton were bowled by Liam Dawson, who had figures of 5 for 139 when Marcus Trescothick declared. That came 40 minutes into the day with a total on 630 for 9, giving Somerset the massive first innings advantage of 390 runs. All eyes now turned to see what the home attack could do with the new ball in their hands. The answer to that was not a lot, as Jimmy Adams, in desperate need for some runs, and Michael Carberry set about the bowling. Neither decided to block, but instead they played their natural games, and in what appeared to be a tricky little session before lunch of 20 overs, actually saw Hampshire reduce the deficit by 70 runs, both openers getting off to good starts. And the runs continued to flow after the break too, on what had become a painfully flat track. Adams has been waiting to get to a 50 for a while, and this was the moment he got to this one off 74 balls, from which he'd found the boundary 9 times. Once in on this pitch, it looked to be a crime to get out, and both Adams and Carberry, who later raised his own half-century off a patient 132 deliveries, were doing their best to avoid that. Carberry had really gone into his shell in the afternoon, while Adams continued to express himself with an array of excellent shots. These two saw out 49 overs together and got the innings moving in the right direction with a partnership of 143, Hampshire's first three-figure stand for the first wicket this year. Somerset would have hoped to see Jack Leach get some turn, but that was not forthcoming as Carberry moved on to 56. Only to then play across the line and be struck on his pads right in front of his stumps. Carberry still awaits 100 in what has been a frustrating summer for him. Hampshire went to the tea break on 151 for 1, now 239 runs adrift, but with an eye very much on saving this game, even with so much time still left. James Vince's rediscovery of his own batting skills has coincided with a change in fortunes for his team, and although they have been second best throughout, they have by no means given up here. A draw for them in Taunton is an absolute must if they're going to beat the drop back into the second division in a couple of weeks' time. Vince was the latest batsman to find conditions very much to his liking. Adams, meanwhile, has had the kind of summer that have had some wondering about his future, but any doubts concerning that should be put to bed after this impressive innings. He was dropped on 94, and that allowed him to register his first ton of the championship summer. That arrived off his 199th delivery as he drove Jamie Overton through the covers for his 15th four to become the fourth man of this match to make a century. A look to the heavens more than once when the batsman showed just what this achievement meant to the soon-to-be 35-year-old, a man who was averaging only 20 with the bat this season before this knock. In the next over, Vince made it to a 50 off 83 balls, and this swept boundary then brought up the latest 100-run partnership in this batsman-friendly contest. With the light fading, part-time spinner Tom Cooper got through 9 overs before the close, which came with the visitors feeling a lot happier about life. With Adams on 117 and Vince on 69, Hampshire will enter the final day on 258 for 1, and that has them now 132 runs behind, with a very important couple of sessions to come on Saturday.